All right, there we go. We're going. We're actually going now.
All right, we're live.
We are live. Welcome, one and all to debatable. After I'm done with you, but it's welcome everyone to another episode of the Astartes Anonymous podcast. Today we have a. I wouldn't say necessarily silly topic, but it's, as Croc put it, it's a bit of a maybe loosey-goosey episode. We're just chilling, we're chatting, but it's going to be a good time. And, well, as I already said, with me today, I have Fiend of Brazier, a very horsey person, apparently.
Some last-minute spring cleaning?
Nay for us.
No. No, I don't think I will.
And the scrimply wimpler herself, it's Zarek.
Hi guys. I don't condone any horsing around in this particular pasture.
So let's see if we can go this entire episode without someone saying every pony.
Well, now it's too late. Now you've already done that.
That was like that was the initiating statement, you know.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, hello, every pony. You know me as might know me as Lucas, or better known as Moots.
So that one, you lost the game.
No, Croc. I think you'll find we're 20% cooler.
Indeed, yeah.
Metal cooler. Metal cooler.
Metal Frieza, Golden Frieza, perhaps.
No, metal cooler.
Metal cooler, yeah. My favorite DBZ character.
Metal cooler.
Move us along, please.
Are you okay, Croc? Are you smelling toast? Is this like
metal cooler?
Okay. Right. Moving on to the models of the week. Here we go. Let's see here. We have a model from Kotoy. Wanna present us this one? Zarek, this is your choice?
Yes, absolutely. This is an absolutely fantastic Knight Defender. This is the brand new Knight that came out with the new Imperial Knights Codex. And honestly, I love this construction way better than any that I've seen so far. So this poses the weapons in a really dynamic way. This is a personal favorite of mine for Knights, is to have their legs at an uneven level. You can much more easily believe that they're moving around the environment when you take advantage of how posable they are.
Yeah. It's sorry.
It's just that the top, right? Normally on the Defender, they get their special Void Shield relic, but Toys decided to give it a normal missile launcher, which I think is far better. I'm not a big fan of how the Void Shield looks on the Knight Defender. This, I think, is a massive improvement.
It's a really
Void Shield?
The Knight Defender does, yeah. It's a chapter relic. It's kind of wild that they just said, Void Shield, but also Ion Shield.
That's entirely defeatist. The whole point of Knights is that they have the Ion Shield.
Yeah, I know. Don't worry about it.
But what if
it's the only line of division between the two types of machine.
I can cry about it.
I will. Profusely.
No, I will as well. I've tried to write like old edition rules for Knights, and having to like accommodate for this guy is a pain in the ass.
But it is a wonderful mini indeed. It's a wonderful posing, and the weathering here is absolutely killer.
It's nice and dirty.
Dirty.
The banners really pull it home, I think.
I think technical is the correct word here when it comes to the weathering.
Okay.
Because it's like less a painted effect and more an actual physical effect.
I see what
you mean. You see that left shoulder with the white paneling? You see an actual gouge in the paint with rust coming underneath.
Yeah.
Sick.
It's where the line between Warhammer modeler and like Tamiya Army Kit modeler crosses.
Hey, you say this every episode, Croc.
I do, because it's true. I'm convinced scale modelers have seen the face of God and left with a taste of the divine, because it's just not fair. Like, there's motherfuckers out there that know how to accurately recreate fucking like welding lines on on like models that are fucking, what is it, like 1/200th scale, ridiculous shit like that. Or how to cook up the correct goos and slimes to accurately represent the texture of metal that's been cast in a mold.
We heard it, model boy. We heard this. We've heard this one before. Get some new material, why don't ya?
I'll say it till the end of time if I have to, because it's true.
Right, indeed. I'm really big fan of the contrast here, like between the red and the green, and then the like nice bits of yellow that also have that orange. What's the word? Transition. Not overflow. English isn't my main
Sepia?
language.
Are we talking about the white bits?
I'm talking about how the yellow goes, or the orange goes into a yellow in a really nice
A
way.
gradient.
Gradient, oui, indeed.
Oh, oui, it is un gradient.
That is... très true, monsieur, very true.
Apart from the French, to capitalize on what Moots was saying there, getting green and red to go together well without it reading as a Christmas model is actually really difficult. I've tried before. It's tricky. You need to get the right balance of both and contextualize them well. And this model does such a good job.
Absolutely. A really nice touch of having the missiles being green. That's just makes them it sticks out very nicely, but not in a way where it like draws too much attention.
Classic color theory.
Classic color theory.
When you put them together.
Indeed. Yeah, so very true. So yes, thank you very much, Kotoy. Please tell us what eldritch deity you have made a deal with so we can do this as well. And then moving on, let's go ahead with mine. I have chosen this piece of art, this lovely Terminator drawn by Gabagool. And I'm a sucker for for Terminators. Yeah. It's I was about to say it wasn't the Terminator because the reference next to it isn't the Terminator, but I just I see big chunky boys and I like,
For you see, Moots, that reference is there for a purpose. This is a regular Terminator, nay. It is a apothecary Terminator. Yes.
Yes, indeed. Quite, indeed, sir.
Thanks, guys. That's really professional of you. Fantastic. Now, I love how interesting the loadout is on this guy, because typically we don't get to see Terminators with chainswords or lighter pistol-style armaments, but the contextualization here works really well. Giving the Terminator this bionic arm allows you to have a slimmer appendage and have it still look a bit natural.
Yeah.
But also having all of the Narthecium gauntlet with the chainsword to kind of reason why you wouldn't have, say, a larger thing like a power fist instead. It just works really well together to create a very believable loadout.
Absolutely, yeah. No, it's a very nice profile. I love this guy's mug, and I also want to say really nice proportions here at work. Very, very well studied. Obviously the risk of drawing Space Marines, and I think especially sometimes Terminators, is making it look like the Marines are just like smushed together in the armor, and it looks really, really uncomfortable. But this looks really natural. It's very clear that Gabagool has worked around the actual human anatomy here.
I'll work you around the human anatomy, do you think, Kevin? I think this art is really good.
Okay, quickly moving on now. Croc, you want to show off your choice here?
It's a Gorkin artist art. It's a real vibrant bastard by Chestnut. Now, I'm pretty sure this is a Cromlech kit, actually. Somebody recognizes it from somewhere where he does. But
I do
generally,
believe so.
if there's any faction that can pull off the Halloween colors, it is absolutely orcs, because it's just a very, very colorful, very clean, sort of high contrast, chunky kind of artwork here, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a very, very bold color choices going on here, and I'm a big fan. Very nice color blocking as well to really make your attention be drawn all the right places, you know?
Mm-hmm. As well, like there's a lot of that weathering on the edges as well. Really clearly defining all the armor plates is so necessary to make something this vibrant work, and
Yeah.
it does perfectly.
It looks...
I have a sneaking suspicion that this is, I don't want to say slap chopped, but like that very sort of rough kind of way of highlighting it and then going over with contrast paints or the like. Because it's very much got that vibe.
It does, yeah. And it's really interesting to see that despite the super bold color choices, it doesn't look, well, probably because of the weathering, right? It actually looks pretty natural in a way, which is pretty cool. Stop yawning. Come,
Dude,
God,
it's infectious.
Dude.
Wake up!
That's for anyone sleeping right there.
I have a solution. I'm going to go crack me up in a fresh bottle of Julmust.
Broder min, jajamensan.
Oh no, they're multiplying.
This is how we spread through Julmust. This is how we multiply.
Remember, everyone, Astartes Anonymous, we do not condone sleeping. We do not condone sleep abuse here.
I don't know if you could hear that, but it is a freshly opened bottle of Julmust.
Can you pour it into your mouth from like a distance of about a meter so we can hear it glugging? Thanks. Great.
Wonderful.
That's all you need. Yeah, little Swedish break aside. It's just very nice work, you know.
Yeah, it really is.
Hey, ain't no two ways about it. Big old vibrant bad moons, boy. Well, they're not necessarily bad moons in yellow, but like it is a pretty bad moon.
It is a moon. It is certainly moon shaped. This is true. We've caught it at a very moony time in its life, you know.
Yeah, the negative crescent, if you will.
Fuck, what is it? What? Oh, I've played Destiny 2. I should know the word for this.
The moon's haunted?
No. Suffer as all Destiny players do.
That's it. You've caught me at a real antumbral time in my life.
What does that mean?
What? Wait.
It's watch a Last Wish raid guide. You'll understand.
No, I don't think I will.
I don't blame you. Don't actually. I say it as a joke, but it's like telling someone to try heroin as a joke and then offering them a needle.
Aren't they going to add Star Wars stuff to Destiny 2 now that they've finished the story?
Already did.
What is that game?
Media is dead. Media is dead. Everything is Fortnite.
Well, no. To be fair to them, it's like a Star Wars inspired expansion. So it's very much still in the Destiny lore. It's just got like Star Warsy vibes. And like
so it isn't an actual Star Wars crossover.
Hey guys, the name is Skywalker.
It's like officially licensed and all, but it's also it's basically if you put Destiny 2 through a Star Wars lens.
Okay. So at least they had the decency to just make it Destiny-ish.
I just think the Destiny devs should have maybe considered at some point to look at Destiny through a Destiny lens.
Well, you see, the problem is the poor Destiny devs are like chained to their desks, bound and double ironed by their corporate overlords who've been steadily ruining the game since, I'd say, Beyond Light.
Yeah, no, I understand. I've got a good friend of mine. They have this awful addiction to Destiny. They and their group are among some of the like best timed raid people in my country. So they do the time trials of raids and are always competing to get it done first. They've suffered a great deal at the hands of Destiny. And every time I ask, why are you attached to this? And the truth is that for them, it's either Destiny or it's League of Legends. And frankly, that is not.
It's the lesser of two evils, you know.
It is the lesser of two evils, I have to admit.
God,
I have. If you look at my most played games, there was quite a sharp jump to like over 2,000 hours on Destiny 2.
Oh, you poor soul. Right, should we get on to the topic of today's video?
I was just
to end this little tangent. If I could go back in time and swap those hours for Warframe, I wouldn't a heartbeat.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say like I don't think I even want to think about how many hours I've put into those random games. For me, it's like Stellaris is just actually drugs. I can't have that installed on my PC. Actually insane. But Croc, we should play it sometimes. Continue on that online game, and please, I need my fix. I need my fix.
Fine,
Give
of
me
course.
my needle. Give me my needle,
It's the guy that
Croc.
has far too many hours, and the guy who's like clinically the worst at RTS games.
I'll carry you. Oh, anyways, we are moving on to the main topic of this episode, which is if you want to present it to us, Zarek, since this was your idea.
It is, yeah. So in today's episode, we're going to be discussing what should a 40k movie look like. We might pitch ideas to each other. We might come up with a pitch together. We're going to see where this goes. But the main focus is, I think we've all seen those like Horus Heresy casting choices that people make, where they line up various like movie actors to be X Primarch or X other character, or the eternal argument over who should play the Emperor.
Yeah, of course.
But to take a step back and really consider what should the first major 40k blockbuster be about? What should it look like, and who should be in it?
Yeah. Well, do you want to start us off then, or?
Yeah. So,
Okay.
the first thing
Seals be like.
we need to touch on is this going to be an adaptation, or is it going to be an original film? Because in terms of adaptation, we have so many good novels and novel series. And I have a wee list here. I just want to list off a couple, right, that come to mind immediately. I will see what you guys think. I think the obvious choice, that I think is honestly too obvious, is the Eisenhorn trilogy. And it's like a foundational text, right, for the setting of 40k. But it is also deeply entrenched in a lot of old lore and has a very different feel to what 40k is now.
I think something that's gotta be established early on is to which end of the spectrum should it lean lore-wise? Should it be like entrenched in the newer stuff, Indomitus, Segment of Pacificum, all that sort of stuff, or should it be kind of in the middle, or the stuff in between that, or should it be the older stuff? Like Eisenhorn.
Well, that is a big question, right? Because I think if we're being GW for a minute here, they would always pick the current setting, the most important thing. And that's why, in this list of novel series that might be good, I've got listed Dawn of Fire. I think if they were going to do a 40k movie series, Dawn of Fire is the most likely book series for an adaptation or for the film to continue on from. Because it is modern 40k. It also provides good introduction to all of the new concepts and a slow introduction to old concepts. And it also maintains a high stakes storyline throughout. Like, you meet the quote unquote main characters of 40k over the course of that book series.
Yeah. I mean, it's certainly better than doing a movie of the Inquisitor Wars trilogy, right? That's like...
Listen, I love the Horisian Wars. That book series is incredible.
It is real. Oh my god.
What?
Dude, okay, I've read like the first 2 books of that series way back when, like when they were freshly coming out, and I genuinely, for my nigh on a decade in this hobby, I've never heard anyone refer to the books by name.
Dude, they're so good. They're incredibly good.
Like the only thing I can remember is I'm pretty sure at the end of one of them a weird horse demon shows up.
I try not to think about that. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
I do not remember anything about it other than there's a weird horse demon.
No, I know. I know. I like the end of that book was something else. I don't even remember how they resolved the issue on Planet. I just remember demon, hidden memories. Oh, no spoilers, but stuff going on. That is a crazy book series. So, to give people context, if you haven't read or are not familiar with the Horusian Wars novel series, so
please stop saying it like Horacy. It's put me off. It's strange.
That's how they say it in the audiobook. So Eisenhorn was an adaptation of some of the original characters produced as miniatures for the Inquisitor war game circa 2001. I made a whole video on this topic. I am an expert on it. Now, the Horusian Wars comes out several years later. It was done way later than Eisenhorn, but it used essentially the other half of the characters, like the character sculpts made for that game, and gives them their own life and their own story. And it is incredibly interesting because it's written quite a bit like Eisenhorn, with a lot of the same themes, ideas, stakes, and personal issues. But it's written with a more middle history of Warhammer lens. It's not at the outset of Warhammer being defined as a setting. It was written when 40k had been properly established, when we had a good understanding of all the different factions, their day-to-day lives, and a bit more of the detail therein. That wasn't really... Thanks, Scott. That really wasn't there when Eisenhorn was written.
Get the mic up in time.
Thanks, George. Very cool.
I tried to hold it.
Okay.
I'm just derailing everything with that one, Orik.
So if you read Eisenhorn, thought it was cool, but suffered a bit for being so establishing in 40k, go read the Horusian Wars. Really cool. It's like Eisenhorn,
fucking
but with a
Horusian.
more fleshed out 40k setting in mind when it was written.
So I was thinking that is very cool. I completely agree with what you're saying. But I was thinking of the Inquisition War by Ian Watson.
Oh no!
That would be a wild. That would be a wild movie trilogy.
And then Ian, are you mad? Am I surrounded by apes?
Who knows, Ian? Maybe it's my next movie.
Imagine it, all right? You're gonna go to see you're going to the cinema, you're sitting down, and the trailer starts showing at the beginning of the movie, right? And then you see it. There is only war. There's the build up, there's the mood set as you see, these cool visuals, these classic Warhammer 40k things, and then the title drops. Based on Ian Watson. The Inquisition War.
Ian Watson.
Oh god. I think I'd vomit in my seat. Can you imagine? No, because who was the guy that directed AI, the film AI? Really heart-wrenching film. I cry about it every time I think about the film. It's incredible.
Cry right now, then.
I don't want to think about it. I will actually start crying if I think about the plot too much. I'm weak. Yeah, this was by it's Steven Spielberg, of course, and somehow. Yeah, so for one of the printings of that book, Ian Watson, as anyone will know who watched like TTS back in the day, Ian Watson got to have a sit-down conversation with Steven Spielberg, who'd read his book. And one of the lines from the conversation was, "Who knows, Ian? Maybe it's my next movie." So what you're proposing, Moots, is that Steven Spielberg actually went ahead and made a Jacques Draco film.
God.
And if anyone doesn't know why we're cringing about this, Ian Watson and the stories that he wrote are some of the worst parts of early Warhammer lore. They're so bad that a lot of them had to be like in-universe retconned as, yeah, this is an account that an Inquisitor wrote, but I don't know what the fuck he's on. None of this makes any sense. So read it with a grain of salt. Signed, ex-Inquisitor. Like, as a foreword.
Oh, it's absolutely bonkers. I mean, that's where we have the infamous Callus assassin who morphs into a gene stealer because apparently that turns
and then he stares at her butt. He's really fixated on it.
Yeah.
He's the same guy who wrote that the Imperial Fists eat shit as a rite of entry and a rite of passage for their aspirants.
Yeah, boom ritual.
And
I don't know if you've
their
ever read
asses as well.
I don't know if you ever read the excerpt from that, but it is so homoerotic. It's like it talks
insane.
about like how erect someone's nipples are and how detailed their abs and muscles are. It's crazy.
Throbbing nipples.
I know.
God.
So there was a weird undertone to a lot of early 40k that was a weirdly sexual vibe.
Yeah.
That I think a lot of sci-fi at the time did. They were trying to like get in on that Geiger stuff, but they fundamentally misunderstood the balance of sexy versus scary.
They didn't have enough getting pegged by trans women while on LSD in their life. That's why.
That's not real. That's not a real story, Croc. That's a Tumblr made up story.
But I think it's funny.
I know. I prefer it was real. I prefer that was real. It's a great story.
Jesus
Christ. It's why we believe it.
Yeah, so the Inquisition War trilogy is absolutely bonkers, and I think the least bonker part about it is where like a bunch of Space Marines fight a Dark Age of Technology Titan, and they have like a bunch of a group of Ogrins charge it to like confuse it, and it's a very weird one.
So I think we're agreeing this is not what we make the movie on.
When faced with an unknown enemy, just send fucking Ogrins.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, it's not a bad plan. Alright, here, look, I've got some other like book novel ideas that I think we should go over.
Okay.
I have a big thought about this. Warhammer, as we all know, is a fucking monolithic setting.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think the absolute wrong way to go about it is to try and touch on every base in a single film. Because the moment you try and do a film about an overarching grand, like, fucking combat, whatever it might be, you're trying to get fucking Space Marines in there, you're trying to get Guard in there, you know, just anything else.
Eldar, Dark Eldar, Crusaders, Necrons, Tau, yeah.
It starts to get a mess. I think it should very much follow the, like, formula a lot of books follow, where it's X faction versus Y faction with intermediary party that all bounces between. Now, this is why I think the first film should be a direct adaptation of Assassinorum Kingmaker.
Oh, shut up! Shut up!
If you read this book, it lends itself incredibly well to a Mission Impossible style film. I mean, it literally has like fucking the mysterious M handing out the missions, a pair of velvet gloves in the dark. Hidden inside office buildings and bureaucracy, and guys who their wife thinks they only work at a fucking office building. They technically do, but they handle kill orders all around the galaxy, that sort of shit. I genuinely think it would be one of the best books to get a direct adaptation out there, simply because it is an excellent taste of the spectrum you get in the hobby, in the universe. I mean, because on one hand you have the like very adaptable, sort of hyper-focused assassins of the various branches. Calidus, Calidus, Vindicare, Vanus, that's the three of them.
Yeah, the Infocyte.
Which get like a lot of insight into the very inner workings of one of the more shadowy clandestine operations. And the other hand,
a hacker is what they have. It is the classic heist movie. Like they even have a heist sequence, right, where they go into a bunch of nobles' houses and assassinate them one after the other in a string of events.
It's fucking excellent. Would you not want to see a noble getting pushed into a fucking tiger pit on the big screen? It's great.
That is hysterical. That is a thing that happens. It's great.
But no, it's genuinely because you have what is straight up a Mission Impossible plot shoved into a like Game of Thrones style feudal era timepiece drama, but with like 15-foot tall mech suits instead of plate armor.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it's a really nice gateway into the just the real intricacies of things. Because obviously night houses are really fucking backwards when it comes to things. But that's kind of the status quo when it comes to 4K, you know?
I think the problem, though, Croc, is that we run into the thing of you are putting two extremes of the Imperium together, and you're not really showing what the Imperium is like at all. I think, fundamentally, if you're going to do a film that's going to introduce people to the 40K setting, you need something with the right kind of perspective to get a more even understanding of what's going on. And this is why one of the books I'd actually prefer to see adapted is The Infinite and the Divine. Because The Infinite and the Divine takes a timeless approach to looking at the formation of a world, its colonization by the Eldar, then by humans over the top of them, the development of human civilization on that world, and then its ultimate destruction.
Yeah.
And it asks a number of really deep philosophical questions about what we value. Do we value history, or do we value the progress of science? What do we value more? What holds greater weight? And
yeah, sorry.
It would make the film a true science fiction, right? This is the sort of thing that I think would perform well in science fiction audiences, even if outside of the franchise and its fan base.
It's maybe this isn't a great comparison, but it sort of could be a it has a sort of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy sort of vibes.
It does.
Campy old man Yowie.
And what now? Yowie?
Yeah, Old Man Yowie is what the book is known for.
I mean, you're not wrong, but shut the fuck up. Yeah, like some kind of you can make like a really interesting comedy film out of that with some actually interesting philosophical insights, deep thoughts into it. I think maybe it's a bit of a steep learning curve to get into specifically. If okay, well now I'm thinking out of the perspective like what would probably make for a good first like movie, but if we're thinking like, oh, we're a couple of movies in, the general audience and public knows what 40K is and whatever, then I agree that would be a really fun movie to watch.
But that's the problem. We're here to discuss the first, of course.
The first.
I don't know if I agree, though, because I think what this film does is that it gets people to sit up and watch and not write it off as just bolter porn, the movie.
That's very true.
It does it very differently, and it centers a handful of human characters and human narratives and tells the story of immortal creatures in the same world as these humans. And it would be a very fun way to introduce audiences to humanity in 40K first, through an outside lens, looking at humans as a kind of alien. Because really they are at this point. They're so weird and conceited in their own ideologies that have arisen.
For sure, yeah. I mean, you get to see a lot of other things as well. Like you get to see some exodites as well, and yeah, no, there's. yes, Croc. Very good, very true. Yes, there are dinosaurs in there. Yes.
Whoa, dinosaurs! Oh, wow.
I think a lot of the self-referential nature in that novel is purely down to like naming units that appear right in the fight scenes.
Yeah.
But a movie wouldn't have to contend with any of those issues. It would just be a very natural, these are the vehicles we have, these are the troops we have. We don't need to give them their proper names. We don't need to explain what a night scythe is. It's just a crescent-shaped aircraft.
But it would be really funny if he said, "And this is my night scythe, Necron flyer."
That would be pretty funny, you're right.
I want what I really, really want in my 40k movie is a 10-minute explanation of everything we encounter,
Chicken jockey.
Oh my god, yeah, it's the fight scene where Trazen and Orican are fighting, and like Trazen's pulling out his little pocket empire of stuff, and like as he pulls out like the Mechanicum detachment, he goes, Castellan robot, and it like names everything he deploys like it's a Pokemon.
You know the scene from Wayne's World where they talk about how much they'd never been to advertise as well, actively advertising stuff.
Yeah,
It's like that, but it's just the GW page floats across the bottom of the screen. Take this, Arcan, my Castellan robots with Datasmith, only $49.99 at GW.
Well, that aside, right? I think the one other book thing I think we absolutely have to talk about is of course, the Horus Heresy series, because it's the one that everyone talks about, right, as the main thing that could be adapted into a massive space opera.
Of course, yeah.
But as a movie, I don't think it makes any sense because it's just too complicated.
I think the Horus Heresy should remain as a book series.
Mm-hmm.
It should not.
Interesting.
I really do not think it should be adapted, because I think Horus Heresy, unless you're actively going out for the Horus Heresy specifically, should and always really should be a backdrop to the setting. It's it's the main reason why the Imperium went batshit 10,000 fucking years ago. That there's such an extraordinary length of time where I don't think any direct TV series would have any bearing on a film or anything else that came out that's set in the current time, simply because that 10,000 year bridge should never be crossed.
Yeah, I gotta be real. If they came out with the Horus Heresy movie, I don't think I'd watch it. I don't think I'd be that interested. Because first of all, I already know everything that's going to happen. Secondly, many people, and myself, I kind of agree with this, not entirely, but many people feel that the Horus Heresy never should have been a book series. Because it over-humanizes all of the characters a lot, and can kind of bring the mythology of it all back into itself and make it a bit flat.
I think I mostly disagree with what you're saying, although I totally get what you mean. But so one thing that is very true is that it has removed a lot of the mythology of early 40k, like that big question mark about wherever, how it all started, and this legendary apocalyptic battle that was the Horus Heresy, which ultimately shaped and put the seeds to what would make 40k, right? But as a person who mostly got into 40k through the Horus Heresy, I personally would really like to see a long format animated series of the Horus Heresy. I think
I get that, yeah.
In the same style as the latest animated trailers we've seen for the Horus Heresy, whatever, I think would make for a really, really interesting show. Now, to be fair, the Horus Heresy is an extremely lengthy thing. It is a monstrous book series. But GW, in their infinite wisdom, has recently released or revealed that they will be making a collection of the Horus Heresy, consisting of 12 books that they think is the most important in the Horus Heresy, the essentials, essentially. And let's just say, theoretically, that instead of doing a whole thing of the Horus Heresy, because that would, in my opinion, would be a really impossible, or maybe not impossible, but Herculean task. Woof woof.
It
Hello,
would.
dog.
Oh, did you hear that?
No, I just barked and like at the same time too. I'm a psychic.
Get
That's
bark
what.
from the boy. What? Who said that? Who said that?
Nay for me.
In Swedish, nej means no.
Oh no, it is a horse.
Oh no, mein cook.
Thank you, Zarek. Thank you. Very cool.
See, I get where you're coming from, and I'm immediately about to fucking walk back everything I've just said.
Okay.
Because there is also, on the flip side of my own argument, there is also an element of the setting is really quite fucking old. Now, I think a way the heresy should appear is purely in a referential way. Maybe have like a dedicated film set to a specific thing. But the whole idea is if the heresy is being directly shown, it should be something that directly pertains to what's happening.
Oh, like
For
flashback
example-
sequences or like a historical view.
Yeah, but you get like, they've really got to hammer home the time difference. So it could be,
Oh, yeah.
it could be, for example, there's a hive world, let's say, that once upon a time was set ablaze in the wake of the War Master's expanse. A terrible battle was fought, and somewhere in an isolated bunker out in the ash waste of this planet sits a stockpile of virus weaponry left forgotten, I mean. And then after a 10,000 year time skip, it becomes plot relevant to whatever might be happening in the film. Kind of like a real sort of sins of the past way.
Right, yeah. I mean, like, I think if you want to be really, really, like, if they want to be really, really tasty with it, they could have, start with everything 40k-ish, do, like, references to the Horus Heresy and, like, imply this greater, like, history behind, which, I mean, obviously 40k is great at, we can talk about the 9 angels versus the 9 demons and all of that. And then down the line, build up towards the great prequel, aka the Horus Heresy.
Ooh, actually, I think you've just touched on something rather cool there.
Oh, yeah.
In my opinion, rather underexplored aspect of 40k is just kind of how distant all of humanity is, how changed everything is. I think it'd be a really interesting angle to get, whether it be just like a film about the Guard, which is someone who doesn't refer to it as like the Emperor, but as, a god or something like that, or like, as you said, the 9 angels versus the 9 devils. Does not like specifically just something that isn't using the direct terms because of like maybe that planet's, how their religion was molded into imperial truth, that sort of thing.
Of course, yeah. I mean, like, what makes the universe so interesting? I mean, we're moving on to a sort of like larger topic at hand here, but it's like that. What makes the 40k universe so interesting to me is that it works perfectly to create a universe, a world of different events, of anthology stories. You don't have to stick to one thing. You could, I mean, that's like what Hammer and Bolter is supposed to be, right? I've only watched a very handful of episodes, but it's like it's to present you with different stories all across the galaxy that does different things, and sticking to. I think one of the biggest sins of these shows is sticking specific to mostly Marines and humans and things like that. Obviously, there's the outliers, but giving the options to show off the vast cultural and really exotic science fiction scenes you can create and have in the 40k space universe is something I would really like to see in a 40k show, for example.
Okay, to maybe add a bit of format to this then.
Okay.
As a starting point for what would our pitch be, like as a real starting point this time, none of that lollygagging we were doing before, none of that.
Yeah.
What faction should be the central faction of the first 40k film, do we think?
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
See, I don't necessarily agree with this as a framing, even. Because, Croc, I have a funny little pitch in mind that I'd like to share with everyone today. Let me prepare this. Make a note of the time.
Oh god, she's actually got resources. Oh no.
I prepared.
Oh, no.
We're at 45 minutes. Just note that down. Is OBS up? Lovely. Let's... Cool. And... Monsieurs... Oh, fuck. I need to...
Monsieur, oh fuck.
Monsieurs, let me put this over here. Now I can stream. I can stream this. Share screen. StreamYards, share. Let's share. There we go. You should be able to see this now.
Is this in StreamYards you're showing us?
Yeah, in StreamYards I should be streaming. Oh, you'll have to approve it. There we go. And hopefully the viewers at home can see. I'm recording this with OBS, so it should be able to line up nicely. I'll turn on my audio. That's not working. Oh, well.
No, I'm not seeing anything.
Well, we'll have to... It's okay. It's okay. Can you see my mouse?
Oh, I can see your mouse, yeah.
All right, good. Gentlemen. Why a 40k film should be set in Necromunda as Zarek presentation. Let me pull up my notes here.
Did you have a PowerPoint ready, Boots? Was this in the brief?
Why would you? Yeah, of course.
So, firstly, I think one of the most important facets of 40k is its tone. The darkness and grittiness of demonic cults or monstrous aliens fighting more contemporary armies or sci-fi super soldiers. Now, this is kind of tricky to sell to a general audience, and I think we understand that you need something a little more marketable for a blockbuster film.
Of course.
And that's fine, because Necromunda is also particularly full of whimsy and more obviously silly lore. If you've ever read a Cal Jericho story, you'll know how relatively light-hearted his escapades are, and a lot of the old lore leads the world to be much more of an action movie setting. Something that the average viewer can sit down, understand, and not have to think too hard about to grasp the full scale.
Actually, you make a very interesting point there, because a lot of 40k has, like, you know, a little side expert where it'd be a side plot throughout the story, where the ending is just this person died so that a door would be open in the right time.
Yeah.
Necromunda, I do have to agree with you a little bit here. Necromunda has that what I like to call the Fallout Raider effect, where everyone's dying in really stupid fucking ways, like Looney Tunes style.
It's
You
not
can have a
depressing.
story, follow this up and coming ganger, and like 30 seconds in, it's established every character just have half of them get blown up because someone accidentally pulled a frag pin.
Oh, Croc, you're way ahead of me. Let me catch up here. So, what should the story be about, and what genre are we going for? Well, I think a story that follows the disputes of the guilds of Necromunda as they manipulate and bankroll gangs to fight on their behalf would be a great introduction to the whole setting. As a sci-fi action movie, I think it'd do quite well, so you could introduce the aesthetics and themes of Warhammer without throwing general audiences into the relatively unemotional stories of Space Marines. The dichotomy of gangers going to war against each other to survive, and the posturing of their guilder employers within their own labyrinthine power structures would be a great way to slowly build up the scale of the setting.
Well, okay, actually.
Perhaps a sequel could lean into global Necromundan politics, following the gangers. Oh, sorry, I got a bit ahead here. If you don't want to focus on that, we could just do Ryan Gosling as Cal Jericho. we could just do that. But look, we can scale up, right?
Wow.
Exactly. Like we can, if we just want a one-off, we can do Cal Jericho is Ryan Gosling.
Second, Zarek.
Yeah.
Your brakes, pump them. Your horses, held. Because there is a line here that is unironically quite possible. For you see, modern GW would of course stick to modern plot lines.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're well aware of what's currently going on in Necromunda,
the Aranthian succession.
The Aranthian succession. Now, there's a funny little tidbit about the Aranthian succession, and that is the Imperial Fists have delivered a 100-day ultimatum. So there's unironically a line of a plot line here that could lead a gang through, getting acquainted. All of a sudden, whoops, Aranthian succession, and then it ends with them all getting wiped by an Imperial Fist purge element.
Well, let me explain. Right, we have to start off with the individual guild warfare. I think it's a sequel that could go to these high-scale politics. And as they follow the gangers from the first film, as they run into contact with the battle for succession of the Helmore throne. But even this could be followed by a third movie where 1 or 2 key gangers go on to join a rogue trader and begin to reveal the full scope of the Imperium. The point of Necromunda is that it scales up so well. You start at rock bottom and you can go all the way to the top. But why not something else? I know what you're thinking. You could do even more with a more broad 40k movie concept. And you'd be right, but Necromunda does have something that a broader perspective of the setting can't give you. It tells a story about people. People trying to survive and the people high up the food chain deciding if they will or not. Unlike a war story, its characters aren't battle-hardened veterans or zealous idiots. They're people led on by very human hopes, like retirement, riches, a family life, or leaving a legacy behind your death. This is how we get your average Joe in a theatre to understand 40k. You begin with someone relatable and human, but still deeply meshed into the setting. They could go from ganger to hired gun to interstellar desperado, and at every stage, they remain someone recognizable in a nightmare world of cyborgs, aliens, and super soldiers. But as we all know, at some point in 40k, an up-and-coming hero will have to lose a bit of their humanity to stay alive. Necromunda is not the end of our protagonist's story. It's the rotten cradle that welcomes them to the 40k setting. And being in the Segmentum Solar, you can bring the story in any direction following on from that. And that's why the movie should be set on Necromunda.
Damn.
Oh, wait, no, Zarek. Zarek, there's something you haven't considered.
Go ahead.
So, looking back to the Imperial Fists, they obviously draw their recruits from Necromunda. And I wouldn't necessarily, depending on which creative mind is behind this, I wouldn't necessarily put it past GW to have a moment where a very old gang of recognizes a space marine.
What are you getting at here?
I'm saying we're gonna get a fucking so and so. Is that you? Not anymore.
No, we wouldn't get that. I don't think. No,
we wouldn't. You know it.
No, we wouldn't. We would not get that. Do you know how infrequently the Imperial Fists show up?
As an Orlok who lives with his stepmom in their shitty fucking mine shack. He's like, "Don't worry, Mom. I'm gonna get you out of here." And then as he's mining at the sludge pits, he finds some ancient fuck you archaeotech, and some noble guy from like fucking House Ulanti or some shit sends his Escher attack dogs to go get him. And obviously he falls in love with one of them, and then they climb the spire, they somehow talk to fucking Lord Gerontius Helmore. And then the Aranthian succession happens, of course, and the Space Marines come down, he's like, "So-and-so, is that you?" And he takes off the helmet. And it's fucking Jack Black. He's like, "Not anymore. I'm a space marine." And in the grim darkness of this future, there's only war.
Oh, Croc, you have led brilliantly into another subject that I really want to discuss with this topic.
All right.
And that are the actors that we should consider for this film.
Yep.
I think if we're going to do that, if we're going to do any film, you need to think about who are you hiring to play the characters. Assuming we did something live action, I think what you need to do is look directly at British actors, particularly say any of the like bit part actors that you get for Doctor Who do basically every British drama.
Oh,
It would be great to get them in
please
there.
tell me we can do something embarrassing to Ricky Gervais and have him die.
Ricky Gervais.
No,
I
wasn't really
find
thinking
him
him.
so insufferable, but he would unironically make like a really good Imperial nobleman that just gets shot.
That's so true. Yeah,
Kind
he
of.
would.
He has not had a good role since the lemur in Muppets Most Wanted, man.
Maybe there's a reason for that, huh? Maybe there's a reason. No, actors I was thinking of for star roles, right? I'm thinking David Tennant, Daniel Craig, Ralph Fiennes, Dame Judi Dench, Catherine Tate, Paul McGann, really storied like British actors who might not be that well known outside of Britain. I think that is why it would work so well for a 40k film. If we go for mainly British actors, you get that overwhelming tone. And you get faces that will be unfamiliar to a general American audience.
Oh, I mean, they're not.
What about the British audience?
Are they?
Well, not all of them, but like, let's be real. How many Americans know who Paul McGann is?
Oh, that's a good point. I don't know who that is either, so you know. Let's see a quick Google. Paul McGann.
He was one of the doctors.
How do you spell that? Oh, okay, there. Yeah, I have no fucking clue who this is.
No, great actor, amazing actor, but like totally underserved. A number of these actors simply because they're in the British acting circuit and they do British media.
Yeah, classic.
I think to get away from all of the Hollywood tropiness, this would have to be a production made primarily in the UK with primarily British actors. Of course, bring in some people from elsewhere. You know, you need to get in like a varied sense of like different people for various worlds, different origins.
Well, it's.
Well, for
I'm
sure,
not gonna
yeah.
lie. I don't agree. I genuinely do think it should remain very British.
Oh yeah,
'Cause
okay. Does this
there's-
entirely?
There's something very British at the heart of 40k. Obviously, you know, it's made in Britain by British
For
people.
sure.
Well, you know
So
what?
it's
I think primarily, right?
It would be one thing to have like, you know, American actors, say for example, playing some Esches, where it would be like getting fucking Chloe from Housing Estate in Birmingham playing Esches. Two
Yes,
completely different
absolutely.
vibes brought to the table there.
Well, I heartily agree, and I think I'd be happy to get like a mixed like cast from all over except America. Literally, except
Keep the
America.
Americans out.
Like, I think we can have one, right? We get one as a treat.
No, I really don't.
No, okay.
Unless it's to play like a really eccentric character in a fucking guard squad.
Actually,
Like
that
some
would work
geezer called
great.
Fingers who can always get you what you need and like you get blown apart at some point.
Well, you know what? We need actors who aren't conventionally attractive as well. That is a big part of 40k.
Oh my god,
and,
we're
like,
Yeah, British actors.
exactly. People whose teeth are fucked, like us.
Oh, we need what's that fucking guy called now again? He's in I want to say there's plenty of actors who play in Andor that I would love to see
Oh,
in
yes.
in a 40k movie of sorts.
Genuinely. Yeah. Like
Let's-
Stellan Skarsgård would do great in a 40K
that was the guy I
movie.
was thinking about. I want
Yeah,
to see
I
Stellan
knew
Skarsgård.
it.
There is a genuine problem, I think, when it comes to that though, is if you put too many like Star Wars adjacent actors into this, people might go in with the wrong expectations. Think,
Oh, you're right.
For sure.
Stellan
Absolutely.
Skarsgård is in this show, man. God, it's going to be like Andor, and then go, like watch someone get their face removed for cheaper rejuve treatment. Like, oh,
Let's
no.
be real. That's not too far off Andor. Andor is pretty close in terms of tone to 40k.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but in 40k you'd actually see it.
This is true.
And instead of
But
it being like, you know, KS units throwing people around or people getting blaster bolts, they'd be getting bolter rounds and stubbers and getting torn in half.
Look, can I just pitch, right? I really want to see Judi Dench as a Lord Inquisitor. I think she could rock that role. She would be incredible.
Yeah.
She has that regal tone that would be perfect for it.
It would be pretty good, I think. Well, one person I want to pitch is David Thewlis.
Who?
Rings a bell. What's he played?
he's played all sorts. He was
What
he
did you
was
say his
Remus
name
Lupin
was?
in Harry Potter. That'll be the one you remember him for.
Oh yes, of course. He played the inspector in that one adaptation of an Inspector Calls.
He's been in a lot of things, and
Yeah, he's in a lot.
probably-
He's in a lot.
I think he's like a ridiculously talented actor that you just don't
Incredibly.
see all too often.
Yes. Oh, he'd be a great commissar,
But
actually.
have you ever
Oh.
watched? You ever watched Chaos?
No.
So it was like it's like an adaptation of what is it? It's not Ragnarok. Like basically the death of Zeus in Greek mythology, where he plays Hades.
Is this the animated Netflix one you were talking about, or?
It's not animated; it's just a Netflix series. It's actually speaking of such a shame, it's not going to get a second season. I actually fucking love that show. But the way he plays Hades in that would make very like he'd be very fitting as what is essentially a administratum worker who can see the bad thing coming. The
Oh my
wrong
god.
place zero,
No, you're
and is
so
being told
right.
to suck it by the higher ups
Yes.
because they're trying to pad their pockets or trying to make an end meet for some arbitrary deadline. And then you get like a fucking shot of him at the end as the planet is burning.
Oh
And,
yeah,
like,
he's made some horrible, terrible deal to get out of there.
No, he dies with the planet despite being the
Oh.
person who could was trying to save it.
Ah,
It's the whole big it's
I'm
thing in
with
40k
you.
of if people were rational and listened, it would work.
Oh god,
But
actually,
they
in terms
don't.
of actors,
So it don't.
in terms of actors, you could do basically anybody except the angels from Good Omens, because so many of them are just random British actors who do a really good job at being scummy. Anyone who plays a devil in that is a shoo-in.
that's so true. I mean, I know we just said, no not too much Star Wars actors, but Andy Serkis as like a
Oh, well,
As an
he did a
Inquisitor,
bunch
I
of
think would
40k
be really
stuff,
cool.
right? Like he played a bunch of roles in that
Did he?
yeah, Chaos Gate Demon Hunters, the Grey Knights versus Death Guard game. I'm pretty sure he did a few roles in that.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think I think he's definitely done
Oh, I
work
just
for
had a
40k
name.
before.
John Keeble. We need to get a John Keeble cameo in this somewhere.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
got to be a shoo-in. It's just it's anything other than a
Well,
white scar. No
Well,
white
here's
scar.
the other thing, right? If this is animated, you just get all of the Black Library narrators, all of them. There's one in particular. Let me grab my phone.
Absolutely.
I need to pull up this one. I need to pull this one audiobook. What's the narrator's name? He has an amazing, I think an Irish accent. I think it's a Derry accent. I'm not Irish. I wouldn't know how to place it. Let me have a look here.
Who's the guy who voices Hell's Reach now again?
Oh,
That's
Toby
Johnny
Longworth?
Keeble.
Oh, it's Jonathan Keeble.
Yeah,
That's
Keeble,
Keeble.
yeah.
Toby Longworth as well, though.
The big Keebs.
The big keeps.
You're right, Keepster?
I love it because I'll be playing I'll just be playing a game or something like, is that fucking Johnny Keebs? Fucking hell, it's Johnny Keebs.
Oh god, who did we have who voiced in the Ultramarines movie?
Oh,
Oh, not that. We don't talk about that.
It was the most random fucking Terrence Stamp and fucking
Oh, Philip Sacramento. He does an amazing Irish accent that is so good for a number of Warhammer audiobooks, but he also does a British or just any other accent really well. Highly recommend Philip
accents are
Sacramento for a voice acting role.
accents are a very big thing in 40k because obviously it is space Britain. So
Yeah.
you have to get actors from all walks of life. God, even a fucking Brummie, mate. I think that's got to be a very pillory thing in this. You see, that's why you get the Americans to play the Tau. That single casting choice would keep Reddit fueled for years to come.
Dude.
Very true. Yeah, John Hurt is in the fucking Ultramarines movie. I forget.
Yeah.
That's the guy I was looking for. John Hurt. God damn.
Now let me go back to my notes here. So one other thing we need to discuss right now
Yeah.
is how do we feel about a 40k film as live action versus animation? How do we feel?
I think it's mostly going to depend on the project, right? Because, I mean, as I said, I don't think for example, Horus Heresy movie series or a show or whatever would work as as live action. I think it would have to be animated. And it's now, I mean, obviously we've got, looking at Marvel movies, we have insane budgets for these kinds of movies, right? I mean, but here's the truth. I don't think a Warhammer movie will ever get that kind of budget.
No. Nor should it, honestly. I think that kind of budget would ruin it, frankly.
I think so too, yeah. So I think, I mean,
I have a proposal. I've got a proposal, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen the original Inquisitor short film from the 90s?
I have not, no.
If you Google Inquisitor short film right now and look at some stills from that, it is really cheaply made. However, it perfectly gets into that dark fantasy aesthetic.
Oh, it's got that fucking Crystal Maze vibe to it, doesn't it?
It does. It looks like the Crystal Maze. And if we could get a modern day 40K film that is live action done in the same way that has a dark fantasy art style going on with ridiculous outfits and everything totally over the top, I think it would be the perfect expression.
Okay, 11 years ago, it was uploaded to YouTube by someone called Battle Brother Raw. Let's have a. I'll be back in half an hour. Let's have a quick watch.
At home, when you're done watching this, go check it out. It's really funny. It is funny. I can't lie. It's pretty funny, but it's also incredibly just evocative, I think.
Oh my
as
god!
Rudimentary the
fact when they're traveling through the warp, the space, holy shit!
Oh yeah, that early CG giant spaceship, about 20 polygons.
1990s.
There's a very big thing we've got to clarify going into this though as well. Is 40K, as I think probably you've gone on about this at some point, Zarek. As we all know, in the formative years of 40K, there's very much a battle between having that big gothic theming or the more silly over-the-top theming.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it might be where Necromunda struggles a bit, is finding a balance between those two. Because obviously 40K went towards the more gothic side of things, but Necromunda is old. And it's got some of that really silly shit to it.
But I think that's why it's the perfect start. Because you start with the more light-hearted elements, because Necromunda's a bit of a glass jar. It's a bit of a terrarium in terms of tone.
Well, I think it should. I don't think it should compromise the gothic stuff for the goofy stuff. I think it should be evil goofy, if that makes, sense.
Yes, I hard agree. Yeah, evil goofy.
Have you watched the Fallout series? I think the series has its flaws, but I think it does nail the tone pretty well.
Yeah.
I've not seen the series, but I think that sounds like a good point. I've seen little excerpts here and
you
there.
Have it's a lighthearted enough watch, but when it really gets into it, You have a vault that baits people in, cuts them up, and does stuff with their body part.
Oh, okay.
As a really horrifying scene involving a lady submerged in a aquarium. We'll glaze over that. But
well, I think you're absolutely right.
It's sort of like watching a Golden Kamuy, where you go from watching where you go from watching two guys having a jerk off and to a guy contemplating if he'll ever be able to find himself again after the traumas of war. It's a fun watch.
Let's go with what Croc said. Yeah, I think that's the balance you need.
It's a light-hearted version of what is still very ostensibly a very dark thing. So it's it's hard to explain. It's the vibe, if you get what I mean. There's no compromise in the nitty gritty, but the way it's presented is a little less nitty gritty.
Yeah.
Now, I have a suggestion regarding this, the sillier tone, perhaps. So, here's my suggestion.
Brutal cunning.
Adventure heist movie about orcs robbing an imperial compound. Starring Brian Tyree Henry, Chris Hemsworth, Scarlett Johansson, Chris Evans, and Keegan-Michael Kay. Or, if you want the British alternatives, Tom Hardy, Idris Elba, Hayley Atwell, and Evan McGregor.
Like, I gotta be real.
First
Idris
of
Elba
all,
was one of those names I
no,
didn't want to
no.
include
Zach?
in a lineup because he's always Idris Elba. That's just, like, it's just always just him.
No. To be fair to Idris Elba, I think
you-
he's not a Dwayne Johnson situation. I think people just unfortunately only hire him to play himself because I think he does have a decent amount of range.
Mm-hmm.
have you?
That being
Yeah,
said, Moot said Evan McGregor, not Ewan McGregor.
you.
And
Like, I would love Ewan McGregor to be there, but I do think that is leading into the Star Warsiness of it.
Now,
though.
now listen here. All right. So, for those who didn't catch it, this is very obviously a very memey list here. But listen here. We need star power. All right. We need recognizability.
Do we?
And,
I
and listen here,
think that's
listen
gonna
here,
ruin-
listen here.
I
And
think
those
it's real bad.
those who might those who might have noticed, the American actors are all the actors from the Transformers One animated movie.
Oh, you
Great.
fucker. Okay, you might already have a point there though, because that film is really good.
Yeah. See?
I changed the actor list, but I kind of get where you're coming from.
I mean, this is a piss take of a list here. You know, the
Mhm.
the movie, the movie idea itself, I think, could be really funny because, you know, more as the lighthearted, you know, get shenanigans of, you know, orcs are inherently, you know, from the at least from the fandom perspective, and mostly in lore as well, really silly creatures, right? And, you know, they do horrible things and whatever. But like, if you put them in a lens of, okay, we're gonna put them in an animated movie, we're gonna make it silly, we're gonna have these guys, you know, rob the equivalent of a bank, you know. I think you lend yourself to a adventurous tone, a comedic tone, and yeah, like, obviously you don't have to have the fucking most basic fucking star lineup here ever. That's I was memeing very hard about that,
Mhm.
but there, you know, there is some truth to that, you know. There's
Yeah, so Moots is going to be executed for his crimes, I think.
Mhm. We're gonna string him up by his testicles.
We're suggesting all the things, but we're not nailing anything down. So where do we
Yeah.
think the film should be set? 'Cause obviously, Zach, you're voting for Necromunda, but Moots, are you committing to the orc heist thing?
well, on a if I'm picking like the silly or like a really silly topic here, I think yes. I think it shouldn't be any setting in particular.
So it's just like its own thing involving orcs.
Yeah, put it on a random planet that doesn't really have any because for anyone who's not into 40k, you know, they're not going to know what they're like. I mean, sure, with some explanation, they'll understand what Necromunda is or whatever. But it's like, in the grander scheme of things, I think, you know, just throw them into an adventure movie and let them see the setting.
Well, this is why I'm not set on Necromunda, but I think it should start in a hive. Because if you start in a hive, you will at some point get to scale out and understand the nature of things. I think
that is very true.
It's essential that a hive is present in the film.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think that I think that makes a lot of sense. There's so much about the societal structure in 40k that you can explore with a hive city that you sort of lose if you that you miss out on rather by not doing it.
What's your vote, Croc? What are you thinking?
Well, I think we've got to balance this out because obviously you're both voting for Life in a Hive City and Orc Heist. We haven't really got any options for a very pillory part of Warhammer, and that's the first three letters of the name, War. I think something that would lend itself quite well to 40k in general would very much be a somber war film. Set in the Guard, overwhelming odds, bonus points if you want to do a fucking tank crew film, like 40k Fury. That would be fucking awesome.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Imagine Fury, where it's instead of Lehman Russ Demolish or something along the lines, as part of a very much doomed offensive, where you get attached to all these characters and watch them all slowly die off. until at the end, you get your Fury scene, the tank's disabled, they're firing to the last, just for it to have all been for nothing. Entirely. It was a delaying offense that didn't work, and the Imperium either wins or loses in the end anyway.
I think that's a fine concept, and it's something that I would enjoy watching. But I think we all need to recognize that if GW was going to make a 40k film that is first and foremost a war film, it would ultimately be about Space Marines. That's what they would do. They would put
That's why I
Space
think
Marines
it
in
should
there.
be in the Guard. Humanizes
Well,
things.
I agree, Croc. But when you go into that genre, how do you differentiate a Guard story from a World War II story? Like, meaningfully and in the pace of things. How do you keep it being a sci-fi? What story elements are you adding there?
Yeah, it's about what they face and what they're up to.
I think so too. Yeah, I think it'd have to be depending on what it is they face and getting to explore what life is like in this science fiction dystopia. It's
bonus points. Get this. Bonus points if you have it be the Imperium versus the Tau, and you have
I was just thinking
intertwining
that actually.
narratives
Oh,
from
no.
both sides of the pale.
I think that's the worst option. Because I think what you need to do a science fiction war movie is to do something more of a Starship Troopers. They're fighting an unknowable, unreasoning, alien monstrous threat. It should either be, I think, Tyranids, Orcs, Necrons, or some other new minor Xenos.
The Votan.
Specifically not them. Because anything too human, something like the Eldar, the Leagues of the Votan...
Right, okay. I do have a genuine case for the Leagues of Votan being the enemy, is that they are, they are quite inhuman. They're all clone babies. And if you try and reason with a Votan, they'll run you for your peas and then shoot you dead.
But they look too human is the thing. You need a striking visual, I think, to define this movie. I mean, picture the movie poster. How do you make a guy who's shorter than a human look particularly terrifying? How do you amp up the brutal horror of the 41st millennium through, oh yeah, we're super sci-fi dwarves? I don't think it quite hits that. I think what you need is Tyranids.
Tyranids would be very cool. I think Starship Trooper obviously is very much more on the ridiculous comedic side. So, if you want to lean,
a fucking brain fart. Hold on. Hold that thought, Moots, you Swedish bastard. Matt, okay, go back to my original point then.
I didn't get to finish what the fuck I was speaking about. Okay.
Hold your tongue. I've got to get around the iron.
Hold your horses, man.
Never before.
Your horses, they aren't in a row. They're disorganized. So, going into Tyranids, I think it would be excellent if it starts off as a war film. Because the Imperial Guard has a big element of you don't really know what you're fighting. You're just told, you're given a lasgun, you're sent off to go die for the Emperor. Imagine following the story of a Guard platoon sent to march forward as they are stalked and attacked by a lictor.
Yeah.
That's Predator.
That is Predator.
That's Predator.
Yeah, but it's cool. That's what matters. Also, it's not like, it's not Predator where everyone's an action hero. You have a 40-year-old man or a bunch of teenagers.
Oh, cool. It's Predator, but all the guys are shit.
It was cool.
I think it's a really cool idea, Croc. I like it, but I agree. It is also it's just Predator. Is what it is.
We all buy into it because we love this idea
of course,
of
yeah.
being 40k on the big screen. Like any of the scenarios, anything that could be a book, we adore that. But we need to think about how do you explain the context of anything without having a big sit-down explainer, right? How do you get someone to watch a film and understand what's going on without the lore video?
Put Chris Pratt in the leading role. There you go.
I think you should be shot for even suggesting that. Yeah. Chris Pratt like emerges from like a dimensional portal onto a hive world and goes, "What the?" And then he goes and he meets the fucking Lord of the World, the planetary governor. And then like he jumps really hard and he throws fireballs.
Exactly.
And they have to go and fight a giant turtle in space.
No, you see, he can voice the lictor instead. I think that.
I'm screaming on the inside. But like,
as
this is
getting annihilated by the lictor, he holds out his hand, and a big beam of lightning shoots. I'm like, how did you do that? I don't know. I just thought really hard about it. Son, you must be some kind of psyker. Roll credits.
No, there's gonna be a bit where he goes, "What is this power?" No, look. This is why I make the point for starting on the Hive World. The Hive World is such a simple and brilliant metaphor for immediately establishing the kind of human empire that this is. And the reason that someone would go to fight. Like, if you see someone living in a hive world and you see them leave it, you understand, 1, the motivation for them to go to war. 2, the social hierarchy where the rich live at the top and the poor live at the bottom, and the way that the Imperium keeps its people in these domes. You get so much exposition just from a single establishing shot.
Yeah, you could have, hell, you could make a Game of Thrones style live action movie, live action show about the life in one of these hive cities. Like someone slowly crawling their way to the top to...
But Moots,
yeah,
that's the story of Necromunda. That's what every ganger's in it for. And more than that, Necromunda is the most fleshed out hive world in the entire setting. It has more detail than anything else. It has more things to draw upon. And the way in which the hives of Necromunda are structured, in that they have the various domes that are all separated and then connected, and the dome runners run between them through the old corridors and the sumps. You have so much established design work already done for you. It is the perfect setup for a rags to riches story that goes interstellar.
Yeah.
Well, I agree with your points. I do think it'd be very good, but I think it should be set like a rags to riches story, but the rags should never get to the riches. You know what I mean?
Of course.
I see.
It should be very tragic. Like it should, for lack of a better example, it should be like Breaking Bad. You know, it all ends in ruins. Like crime doesn't pay. It's all for, not necessarily for naught. You know, some things come out of it, but in the end, like, it's such a toxic thing that it just leads to ruin.
Yeah, 40K always has a big thing with hopelessness. The thrashing against the dying light. Don't go quietly, all that fun stuff.
Oh yeah,
rage.
And I think the film should genuinely start with, it's obviously going to start with the big text of "In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war." That spiel that's in the front of every single fucking book GW has ever produced ever.
Yeah.
But I think it should lead on into a tithe number dropping by 1%, and that is what sets everything into motion.
Oh.
And it should be some like real cataclysmic shit. You get like, it's seeming like it starts something very innocent, but as the series progresses and you get used to all these characters, and then all the characters die and so on and so forth, it gets to the very end of the film and the number goes back up a little bit.
Oh, that's great. You're taking the little motif of two broke girls and turning it into an amazing thematic payoff.
I'm being genuine, because in Necromunda you have all this politics, and the one dividing line through it all is the fact that the Imperial tithe must be met.
Yep.
I so agree with this.
All the politics in that, every single, all the inter-clan, inter-gang, all collapses at the moment the Imperial Fists decide to send a little messenger running from their spire.
Oh, boys, I have, I think, the perfect middle ground here.
All right.
There's one other element of notes here that I haven't talked about yet.
Shoot.
And it's Varangantua, the home of the Warhammer crime novels. These novels flesh out, I think, the second most established hive world in the Imperium, with a much more cyberpunk, very, certifiably modern grimdark vibe to it. And we do have a few mentions of tithe and the way that it's affected in the novels. And what I've learned from little Warcom articles and little blurbs that you get in the book is that apparently, behind the scenes, they have a writer's room where they have a much more fleshed out idea of how Varangantua works and all of the internal politics going on there that don't all necessarily go into the books. If anyone has read or listened to, because I don't know if it's an audio drama first, but the Vorbis conspiracy, which ties together
Vorbin time.
Yeah. My ears. All of the pre-existing Warhammer crime characters and some new ones into a series of and into an anthology that tracks this single conspiracy for one horrible incident that occurred where a void ship crashed into the planet and destroyed an entire sector of the city.
Oh.
Anything like that, where looking at the large scale of Varangantua, where tithes are under threat and the crime bosses and the weird cults on the world are all interacting with it, you get all the benefits of setting your story on Necromunda without any of the pre-existing silly themes. If you want to go grimdark, you go truly grimdark with it. And you can borrow from like the Blade Runner sequel aesthetics for some of those bits. Because it's got much more of a cyberpunk vibe going on.
Or the Altered Carbon vibes.
Oh, exactly.
Okay, just to lock this down, we are agreed that if it's going to take place in the Hive City source, whether that's Varangantua, Necromunda, or some unnamed backwater. Yeah?
I think it has to.
Okay. Secondary thing then is, does the film aim to have a narrative that wraps up in its runtime, or does it set up for a wider story, like with the Warhammer crime novels? Because I think one of the big strengths of 40k is, the overarching narrative. Every book is always 2 or 3 plot lines that intersect with one another until they hit the end, where everything kind of comes together. Now, imagine translating that into a big movie film. 3 of them, perhaps.
But only 2 are resolved in the runtime of the film.
No, I think personally, okay, so this is, again, I think for this Hive City storyline, I think a show would be better. I don't know exactly if like a movie would be able to truly capture all these aspects we are looking to explore here. Maybe it's personal opinion. I think the story would work better as a longer format prime television sort of show. 1 hour per episode, where you're just in the grime and dirt, getting to like these multiple plot lines, plot threads, all converging towards one. Yeah,
but this is the film,
Well, what genre are we doing, right? Because if it's set on Necromunda, immediately it's action. It's action sci-fi. You can wrap the plot up a lot more neatly there, because it's like a single ganger burnout in a blaze of glory sort of event. Because you can have that all happen, you get the glimpse of it, and then the film ends. But if we're going to Varangantua, if we're doing something a bit bigger, then yeah, I think we're going like mystery drama, and then that can be drawn out a bit more.
Absolutely.
Well, I think we don't necessarily have to limit ourselves to just one,
No, of course not.
No, looking back to big old overarching narratives and all that. where we can get some real funny shit going on.
That is true. That is true. I mean, I think genuinely, I mean, we know GW is working to make a grander, universe, not just movies, but like shows, animated shows, movies, games, whatever. So, we don't have to limit ourselves to necessarily just movies either. So,
yeah, but we do, because that's the podcast.
That's the concept.
Well,
GW is already making a TV show. We know that. But if they're going to make a film, what would it be?
Well, I have an idea. It is also about a. It is also about a hive city. Because I am, of course, talking about a book that has already been adapted into a movie of sorts.
Hell's Reach.
Hell's Reach, of course.
Oh.
I think that would be a really interesting movie.
See, I'm with you, but it exists.
But exactly, yes. It's true. It's true.
It would just be Hell's Reach again,
Yeah, it would.
Step on your own toes.
It's a great story.
It's a great story, and so I'm thinking, give it a bit of a budget, make it more widely accessible to the public. aka, I don't mean as in like simplify the story, but like as in make more people see it as a movie, not just as a short or as an animated movie on the YouTubes. Make it more widely seen, because it deserves to be seen. It's a great story, and the animated movie certainly is a great example of how you can cut a 12-hour audio drama into a concise 2.5-hour movie.
But they've already done it, you see.
But we can do it again.
Well, boys, I think
like there's all of 40K. We could just do something else.
I think we've come to this point where this becomes irreconcilable taste.
Absolutely.
And at the end of the day, what we all need to, I think, accept in our hearts and in ourselves is that if there was a 40K movie, it would be about Titus.
But you see, we don't have to accept that. We can rage against it.
I think growing up means you accept the movie would be about Titus. And once you accept that, then you can begin to let go.
It's Titus is becoming the loot of Magic the Gathering, and I don't like it.
Titus is becoming the loot of Magic the Gathering? Oh my god,
exactly,
Titus Magic the Gathering.
Yes.
Does Titus have a card yet?
No.
He will. He will.
But that's not what we're here to discuss.
No, of course not. Of course.
What we're here to discuss is a film pitched directly. So,
exactly. GW, listen to us now. Please don't make a movie about Titus.
Hive world. God damn you.
You know what's really bad when I'm not having to keep us on topic? The certified yappage episode.
Well, I mean, that's what we do.
I think we've been doing good.
I think we've been doing good as well,
Okay, to lock it in then, set on a hive C, yeah?
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are we aiming for a grander overarching narrative based on a conspiracy? Or a grander overarching narrative based on, fuck yeah, hive war, drugs, ties, woo?
It's got to be Hive War, right? Because it's a film, not a series.
If it's a film, absolutely. I mean, like, my personal preference would be to see something in the lines of Dune, but that requires like, well, I mean, I say epic scale, but but I shouldn't have said anything.
No.
Epic scale, you say?
Boy, calm down there.
Well, I say that, but the Dune movie is contained to mostly one planet. The two movies are mostly contained to one planet, if we can contain the story to a hive world, which is essentially we're doing good. Yeah. So I think personally, I'd like to see something like bigger, something more epic. But that's maybe personal taste. I'm not necessarily gunning to go and see a action movie.
Can you hear this sound?
Yeah.
What is that?
It's my Solo Auxiliary Combined Arms Battle Group that I've yet to finish building.
You fucking bitch. Oh my god.
Got 2 heavy tanks that can be built as either Shadow Swords, Storm Swords, or Storm Blades. 8 Leman Rusters.
Okay, yeah. So moving on.
So
anyway.
an action movie, you say, or not an action movie?
Shut the fuck up! I'm going to put you in the timeout zone. You're going in the timeout zone.
Mute him!
Mute the
There we go.
Thank you, Mitz. Thank you. So, we show like a bunch of Titans just dying in the film, right?
Oh yeah. Loads of Titans just die.
Up.
In an Necromunda film?
Just for you, Krog.
Yeah, just for you.
just for you.
A bunch of Titans. The Imperial Fists are going to come along and go, look at these Titans, and then they blow them up and they go, that's you if you don't pay us.
Where's my money, Geranius? Oh no!
Yeah, they could just try and bomb
Garrett, please, no!
They could bomb Hive Secundus and go, that's you if you don't pay.
I need my Imperial dollars right now. Please, Mr. Drogaradon.
Oh, fuck it,
Drogaradon hand. You're getting it right up where the sun don't shine.
Jack Black plays an Imperial Fist. And they blow up a Titan, and she goes, "Really dorned it, didn't we?"
and that's how the movie ends. Musical about Exterminatus.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, he does a little song. It's like hits the UK charts for that week.
And the buttons are all firing cyclonic torpedoes at the planet.
La 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 lava.
Extermination.
Steve's Exterminatus, you're ringing the bell.
I know I don't want to try to keep us on topic, but I also have a final proposition, if you will. Because I know the idea of a standard war film didn't necessarily go down too well. But Top Gun is a film that exists.
Mm-hmm.
Oh!
Now imagine Top Gun, but with the Aeronautica Imperialis.
Yes, Top Gun.
But with Imperial planes.
This movie already exists, Croc. Why would you want to do it again, huh?
Because now it's cool in 40k, you fucking
Ah, yes, so rules for thee, but not for me. I see.
Well, we're going to get Tom Cruise in the role, right?
Was this, sorry?
We're going to get Tom Cruise in there to play the lead character.
Oh, yeah. Of course. We get Tom Cruise.
He has the appropriate amount of shouting at underpaid workers for it, you know? and being into very weird religions. Oh my god, I'm a genius!
Fuck's sake.
We can't have Xenu in 40k, alright?
Alright, so we're moving on from that idea.
Yeah.
Well, Tom Cruise shows up and beats me to death in real life.
Apparently, she's shorter than I am. That's pretty crazy.
No, that's not real. No, there's no way.
Apparently, he's really short. Oh, let's see here.
I mean, Family Guy did like multiple episodes about it, didn't they?
Yeah, so every show did. Right. Hive City.
Oh, he's slightly taller than me. Oh, okay.
Okay, look.
He's 3 centimeters taller.
Hive City, it's about a tithe, follows an individual ganger through some kind of escapade.
Yeah.
And it's got mainly British actors.
Of course, yes.
Honestly,
must be.
The only thing I think we're missing is musical number. Who's doing the score? And don't say fucking Hans Zimmer.
No. Okay.
No, of course it has to be Hans Zimmer. There's no doubt about it. Come on now.
I have a bit of a curveball option here. What's it called again?
Hans Zimmer, that's what he's called.
Alan Silvestri.
Oh, the rings a bell. What did he do?
Do you really want to know?
Look, it rings a bell. I'm going to get reminded of something I already know. It's fine.
I'll read you some names you might recognize. Forrest Gump, Back to the Future.
Oh.
Okay.
Predator, Predator 2, The Avengers, A Christmas Carol, The Crew, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Avengers Endgame, Captain America, Avengers Doomsday, Ready Player One,
Holy
Nokia,
shit.
Night Museum, Beowulf, Romancing the Stone, Here, Van Helsing, Avengers Infinity War, The Mummy Returns, Death Becomes, Practical Magic, Play Dirty, The Witches, Father of the Bride, Mouse Hunt, Flight of the Navigator, Allied, Delta Force, Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, Electric State, Stuart Little, Light of the Museum, A Battle of the Smithsonian, What Lies Beneath Lulu and Stitch, Contact, Night of the Museum again, The
Holy
Abyss,
shit.
Judge Dredd, Back in Time, Made Man Hat, The Parent Trap, The Body
He's
War,
done a lot of shit.
made
We
your
get it,
point.
we get
You
it.
made your point.
and last but not least, The Polar Express, baby.
You motherfucker! You motherfucker!
I said you
I
really want
was
to know.
so
That you
on
said
board
yes.
until you said that.
You said yes.
I was so on board until you said that.
Look,
Now we can't do
say
it.
what you will. Say what you will. The Sweep from the Polar Express fucks. That man
Sing
knows his
the-
tubes.
Croc, you know you have to do it now.
Do what?
Sing the chocolate song.
It's literally it's the same 5 lines over and over again.
Go for it.
No, I can't.
Do it.
Nay for
No,
me.
I'll do it when I want to do it.
Well, then he doesn't get to make the music for this movie.
Yeah, he doesn't get to. Who did the music for Dark Tide?
That's
Kid?
the Swedish bloke.
Jesper Kid. Oh, hello.
Jesper Kid. Jajamensan.
Oh, Jesper Kid. Yeah, let's get Jesper Kid in. He'll do it great because it's in a hive. It's fine. Like his.
That's true.
Get him and
hang
who
on,
did
okay.
who did the
You-
Mechanica soundtrack?
I think it was also Jesper Kid, maybe.
Oh
But
fuck
you-
yeah! It's Jesper
You've
Kid.
opened up a can of
Boom.
worms here. There's a hive city we failed to contemplate. Good old Tertium, baby.
No, we
What's
can't. Tertium's where Dark Tide takes place.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
I see.
think about it. Think
No.
about it. Rather than Necromunda gangs, then we got to pick a gang. We got to get the casting right. We might even have to fucking make it credit accurate. Make it accurate with 1,000 credits starting gang.
We
But
don't have
what
to do
if?
that.
4 separate people.
You
Were
motherfucker!
all
No.
fucking insane. And the film ends with like with Explicator Zola saying to Rannick, "Are you sure about this? I'm afraid we've got no choice. The Provost Marshal wants in," and then it's Jamie Lee Curtis pulling off an arbitrator hell.
You've kind of sold me on this. I could go in for a Dark Tide movie.
That would be kind of dope. I mean, historically, video game adaptations don't work.
no, you're right.
wonders.
You're right. It goes bad.
It's a curse, all right.
It's
a
cursed.
weird
Yeah,
fucking
I'm
curse.
sorry, Croc. I agree. I'd love it, but it wouldn't be done right. It's a movie. It's a video game adaptation. You're done.
They would fuck it up somehow. I mean, I love the idea, I mean, it sort of
Mhm.
touches upon my orc idea, where it's a bit more shenanigansy in a way, because I feel like a movie like that would be like, oh, you get the crew together, you get the ensemble, and
Well, it'd be like Guardians of the Galaxy. That's
Well,
exactly
yeah,
what it would be.
exactly, yeah, it would be Guardians of the Galaxy, but with fucking murder hobos. It's like, which honestly sounds pretty dope. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, look, just let Jesper Kid go to Necromunda. It'll be fine.
Yes, exactly. Like, let's not think about it too hard. It's not a Dark Tide adaptation. We're taking these wacky individuals and we're putting them in Necromunda.
That works, honestly. Like a
we're-
group of 3 or 4
My
people.
finest gangers in my worst situations.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you could honestly. I mean, you could make it even more heartfelt in a way. Make it a movie about these kids who grew up together and then ended
my
up on
God,
different
yeah.
paths and inadvertently have to gotten into some kind of adventure that they have to maybe get to the top or whatever, something like that. Take vengeance against a gang lord or
Yeah,
know.
a sort of hive trotting adventure where they have to explore all parts of the hive. They go down to the sump, they go around the top, they see the guilders, then they go back down again, and you get all of that.
Exactly. Yeah.
But the film has to have an element of this gang lord ends up like, they do the whole tour de force, somehow taking out all his guys, all his goons, taking over all his territory until they get to the end, and he's got protection from House Helmore. And so they can't do shit.
or they do shit and get hunted down.
Freddy Fazbear. Shoot the Freddy Fazbear.
It's fucking airdropped it. Okay. Well, look, boys, I do think we have found our film.
I think so too.
It is about one or a few gangers growing up, probably on Necromunda, a hive at least. They go on some adventure around the hive, aiming for riches or revenge. It concludes with a thematically accurate tragic twist in which all or most of the characters die, possibly maybe sort of achieving their goal.
No, Zark, not die.
And it's acted by British people, and it's scored by Jesper Kidd.
And Hans Zimmer.
Maybe Hans Zimmer. he can do like one guest track.
Who's directing this? I think. Is Steven Spielberg?
No. Get Denis Villeneuve. He did Dune. He did the Blade Runner sequel.
Then we're very much moving away from the sort of adventure-y, fun type of movie, and we're walking more into a very dramatic, character-driven story.
I think he could manage a more adventurous tone.
I think 40K really does need to keep some of that gothic stuff in it. So, the ending shouldn't be good, and as much as it should be fun and jokey, they should not be they should be in a terrible situation, and it's only fun and jokey because that's how they're getting through it.
Yeah.
And the ending's just horrible. Most of them die. Whoever gets captured and sold into the Slavers Guild, never sees the light of day again.
The fucking Mercator song Grease shows up.
Actually, who's the guy who directed Trainspotting?
I can't I just seeing Necromunda is Glasgow. It's too real.
Then what if we get an opening that's put to fucking park life? And it's like them navigating through the streets, they grab an apple from a stall, stealing it all sneaky saying, "Hello, governor."
Fuck's sake.
They get to the house, and whichever parental figure's still alive is waiting. They're like, "Where you been?" "Nowhere. You been down to the sandpits again?" "No, Mum, I swear I wasn't down at the sandpits. I can smell it on you, you rascal."
Have you been spending time with that Jimmy again? Oh, I don't like him. He's a bad influence on you.
Then why can I smell burning air on you? It's perfect. I think we have it. This is it.
Honestly, yeah. No, I think GW
as a potential
shoot, hire us. Or we're
we're
the idea guys.
Done, but I think Guillermo del Toro would maybe.
Honestly, actually,
because we get a bit of a you get a bit of a spectrum with him. Because he did the most recent Frankenstein, didn't he?
He did, yes.
That's a real gothic fucking monolith. The Pinocchio did in 2022, very underrated film.
Yeah,
it's actually really quite good. I think
No,
Pacific Rim. Shame it never got a sequel.
So true. Shame it didn't get the show either, or anything like that. We don't talk about this. Now, it's interesting you mentioned Toro, because I recently had a conversation with Tom, and he's not here to defend himself, so I'm just going to go ahead and yap for him, which is he apparently not a huge fan of Guillermo del Toro, and I think I see some, like, after a conversation I've had with him, I sort of see, I have my doubts about if Guillermo could make a proper 40K movie, and I don't know if he's really the fit for this particular story we're looking for. Again, sort of depends. I mean, now we've sort of moved back and forth here, as like all projects and pitches usually do, but like, are we still on the more tragic storyline as opposed to a gunslinging action movie?
It could still be a gunsling action movie, but I think it would be just really kind of a kick in the dick if a 40K film has a happy ending.
Yeah, it's got to like it's got to cut to
pyrrhic.
tragedy.
Well, I feel like it should be a sort of
it
drama
should absolutely follow the
comedy,
Cyberpunk
perhaps,
rule, where there are no happy endings in Night City.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I
There's
think
only those that die a legend or those who got out.
Yeah. Well, I think a sort of, I mean, maybe I'm stuck a bit on the train spotting train of thought here. Train. But like a drama comedy of sorts, you know? It's like...
It's shy being necromantic.
Oh, wait, hang on. Who the fuck?
We're scum of the fucking earth.
Like I feel like a pretty serious story about, you know, these, again, as like this group of young like we see these kids growing up.
Wait,
somehow.
Hold that thought. Who directed Joker?
Oh, sweet fucking Jesus.
Todd Phillips, is that his name?
Yeah.
Whoever
Whoever it is, get them in. Get them in. Do something along that vibe. That'd be crazy.
Interesting choice indeed. Oh yeah, it's Todd Phillips. Yeah.
Yeah. I still say Denis Villeneuve is probably the best bet. He knows how to handle sci-fi, and I think if given the prompt to go a bit more adventurous with it, he could keep it bound within the right tone.
I think I mostly agree with you. I'm ready to go with, you know, put the Mr. Villain on the directing chair. I'm just wondering if maybe like an adventure movie. I don't know. I'd have to look at more like through his repertoire and see if like an adventure movie is like what it is. If he is something I do. Science fiction, absolutely. He is masterful at that. Grim, like darker, a bit edgier, you know. I think if we're not going so much adventure style, I'm hella down for it.
Oh, yeah, have a wee look here. Oh, yeah, he did Arrival. I always forget about that.
I keep forgetting how to spell this man's name.
Yeah, it's
I'm just gonna search Dune instead and see what I get. Let's see here. Denis Villeneuve.
Let's have a wee look here.
But I think we're. I mean, I was just looking for it. You know, we got Arrival, Blade Runner, Dune. I mean, sure, he has more credits, but it's like Prisoners. I don't think it can be really a adventure movie. It has to be the real dark and gritty.
Yeah,
but I mean,
High School Life isn't exactly the most glamorous of things, is it?
No, exactly. Well, I think that works. I think that's perfectly works.
It's an adventure movie through that lens, right?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean,
it's not really an adventure, though. You know.
Well, it depends. Maybe I'm really stuck
it's
on
peeping
the
horrors.
It's
True.
seeing the life of people in this horrible dystopian existence, and you know, I'm maybe stuck on the idea of having these people, you know, the story of a group of kids growing up and seeking their fame and fortune.
Well, I wouldn't.
Finding revenge, you know, finding the vengeance is a bloody path, and, you know, then leading to a tragic end. And I think that's where I think we have a really, really interesting movie.
I wouldn't put the guy who directed it forward because his name rhymes with Shmaika Waititi. But I think a good example of the sort of thing I kind of want to see is the film Jojo Rabbit.
Oh.
Because that obviously starts out quite lighthearted, and obviously, you know, it would be starting out less lighthearted, but one of the things that really stuck with me in that film is Scarlett Johansson's red shoes. How more often than not she's depicted like, you just see the shoes and nothing else.
Yeah.
And then you get that moment of realization where he stood next to the hanging body and you instantly see those fucking red shoes and the film just 180s in 2 seconds.
Rips your heart out in an instance, yeah. Yeah.
Now, I had a thought.
Mm-hmm.
What about Romeo and Juliet, but it's Necromunda?
I am so down. Okay.
Because there's been
Say no more.
like
Say no more.
80s gang adaptations, right? Where they're two like mafia families or something, and they go to
but
war.
it has already been done. There's the version of Romeo and Juliet with guns.
There is, yes. But
this is
let's
Romeo,
do it
Romeo and
40K.
Juliet in the far future.
And
with
now there's
laser
also
guns.
with laser guns and magic. Hell yeah.
But,
And, like,
we can't-
noble
we can't,
houses.
We can't because there's Romeo and Juliet and Godzilla. We can't beat that. How are we supposed to beat with Romeo and Juliet as told from the perspective of Godzilla, man? We can't do that.
The fuck?
I don't want to know
pretty sure I
more.
sent you
I'm
this.
so happy that this exists. I don't want to know more.
Yeah.
Oh, let me find it.
Right.
It's-
Well, I mean, I think we honestly found the pitch here. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
Like we're just arguing over the little features. Like, oh, who's
Exactly.
doing this specific role?
It's been
we
in
have
front.
it.
It's been in front of us all this time, and we just completely proven it. The answer is Romeo and Juliet in Necromunda.
So, listeners, if you had a film idea of your own, please leave it in the comments below. Share it with us. We want to hear in depth how you think a 40K movie should be done. Specifically, the first one.
Yep. The first introduction to the cinematic universe. How would
Except
you go
all the other
about-
ones that came before. We're not talking about them.
Or, except all those, yeah.
if you look at podcast references, there's Romeo and Juliet and Godzilla.
Can you type
the plot-
perfect?
Oh, I see.
This is like
Wonderful.
recent as well. This is the 15th of this month that this was announced.
Also,
Godzilla is
Godzilla
returning to the
Robin Hood.
classics with Godzilla's Monsterpiece Theatre presents a new 4-issue line of
shit.
oversized one-shot comics that drops the king of monsters into famous works of literature. The project follows. Oh, well, no, so the upcoming
Wait.
release, Romeo and Juliet and Godzilla, reimagines Shakespeare's tragedy on a kaiju scale, blending feuding families, a budding romance, and large-scale destruction in Verona. Artist Sean Peacock says, it's such a treat to put my own spin on the King of Monsters, as well as one of the Bard's most famous plays, adding that Romeo and Juliet 9th grade English never suggested a future where Verona would be destroyed in a kaiju attack.
Holy shit.
I think this is a perfect end to the body of the episode. Let's go to Patreon questions.
So too. Let's go to Patreon questions. God, this is the stupidest shit I've ever heard. All
I
right.
ever mentioned that up until recently, I thought Godzilla was a girl.
Well,
Godzilla's a giant lizard, mate.
it depends
exactly.
on. I think it depends on the continuity, the American one is asexual.
The American one is lizard.
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 Right. So, Patreon questions. Starting with Madison, who asks, where do you realistically see the plot of 40K progress in the next 10 years?
They're obviously going to figure out how mass produce Titans, and then it's going to become fucking naval piracy with God engines, you know?
I think, obviously, we're going to see a lot of Primarchs. By then, we should have seen all the Primarchs return, to be honest.
Probably, yeah.
And I know I've mentioned this a lot of times, but I'm pretty sure that the setting itself is moving towards a very high fantasy, a high science fiction sort of setting.
I don't think you're wrong with high fantasy.
Well, yes. I mean,
High fantasy, if you will.
yes. I think high sci fantasy is very much the direction, and lots of quote unquote god level characters. a hero or like a hero. I've used a better word before. A sort of like Age of Heroes sort of deal with like all of these great heroes returning and really reshaping the setting in all the ways.
I don't think you're far off the mark. Yeah, I think what we'll also see is that we'll see a new kind of Space Marine called the Post-Primaris, and they're bigger and stronger, and it's to account for the scale creep that GW accidentally did. And all Space Marines are on 40 mil bases now, by the way.
And
all
they're
Terminators are on 50 mil bases.
and they're 8 years old, all of them.
Yeah, they're all 8 years old.
How old are you?
Well-
I'm 4 years old. You're the youngest Marine ever.
The Plague Wars still just happened. Less time has moved forwards in 40k than it has in the real world. And we have 20 retired Primaris kits and 40 new ones. That's where we're at.
I think, realistically speaking, I don't think the plot's necessarily going anywhere anytime soon.
No.
'Cause, mini company
we
first.
get more Primarchs, we get more Primaris Marines, and nothing else happens. No.
Actually, to be fair,
We will get 5 new war zones that have no lasting consequence on the setting.
I think GW is actually the new reveal stream has ignited the old hope in me, and I unironically think GW is building up to a war zone that will have lasting consequences.
You're a fool.
So I think we're past the era of Primaris arrived, did fuck all, Plague Wars happened, did fuck all that sort of stuff, where stuff
There's
is
more.
actually happening.
I don't think so. Nothing really happened, right? The only thing that really has happened is Arcs of Omen happened.
The fucking Arcs of Omen.
Yeah, Arcs of Omen with the cyber nematodes.
The key to the thing, to the machine, to the...
No, it's the key to the lock to the artifact or whatever it's called. So if you didn't know, by the way, I believe the Pariah Nexus, a Crusade book, explains that some Mechanicus guys fire off a laser and Wormwood, which is Caliban, but like rebuilt by Vashtor, shows up in the Pariah Nexus. And I think that's how it ends.
Oh yeah, so it's in the Pariah Nexus, you've got everyone's trying to activate the pylons, and then Vashtor's shown up and he's trying to activate the pylons in evil mode, where they amplify the warp's presence rather than
Yeah, and that's all that
nullifies it,
happens.
which honestly it seems like a bit of a design flaw on the part of the Necrons. They've got like a big old switch that's warp off, warp on, and they're like, why did we build this? Let's go to bed.
To be fair, everyone stole Blackstone from the old ones, for whom it was originally a warp amplifier. That's why the Zarakan dynasty has the greatest supply of Blackstone, because not all Necron constructs are made out of Blackstone. They're just made out of stone that is black. Don't get them confused. Don't get them confused.
Out here having Blackstone scarab swarms. Flexor don't always gotta make sense.
Real. Anyway, we're gonna have 5 more war zones that don't particularly matter. Vashtor will find the lock and then get rebuffed, and then there'll be a big war zone about it, and then nothing will happen. And they'll introduce 20 more major characters, including the old Primarchs.
In these ever-changing times, I remain hopeful that we're gonna get our fucking swashbuckling side quest going on with, good old Mr. Buron Blackheart going around.
Oh yeah.
I
Fighting
do hope
Corsairs.
something happens. I really hope something happens.
Genuinely, what I want to see is a actual schism in Chaos.
Yes,
Because now,
absolutely.
at the moment, it's just the Black Legion have been sat twiddling their thumbs for a while. And, the Chaos Legions are all returning. But I feel like we're going to have a big old schism that's going to break things down.
Well, we
And the
need to.
Imperium's going to
'cause-
get a chance to mount a big old counterattack now that they've started to figure out how to stabilize paths through the big old tear.
Well,
We're going to get a refreshed period of people fighting people.
I think you're onto something there, because okay, have you read Archmagus yet?
No. So shut
Nor
your
have I.
mouth.
Yeah, likewise.
When will I be able to talk about this? I want to talk about this. Silly bastard.
It's the next book on my to listen list. Once that's done, you can
God damn it.
spoil it for Croc all you want.
Okay, amazing.
You've got to
Perfect.
wait.
I'm good. Fuck you, Croc. I want to talk about this.
Spoil it when you
too
record
bad.
next week.
You fucking cock, alright? Goddamn.
I've got some time tomorrow. I'll sit down and have a read.
A little read. A little
Okay.
fancy
I probably
read,
won't. I'll
yes.
actually probably use that time to play Pokemon, but I'll think about it.
Look,
Amazing.
in terms
Great.
of Chaos plotline, like before Archmagos, because we're not going to get into Archmagos just yet, but up until now, we have had the Arcs of Omen happen. A bunch of, like, I think it's like 28 or so giant fucking Space Hulk-sized ships that are incredibly powerful, run by demon monsters that are actually also navigators and pilots and admirals, and there's also cyber nematodes that hold it together. And then it's taken over by a bunch of legionnaires, and then immediately abandoned as soon as Vashtor finds the key. They're all abandoned, by the way. That is the
Well,
lore.
to be fair,
They
to be
just
fair,
stop
amazing.
happening.
We've got second Solomon Akura book coming out. See if he can remain the Harrow Master.
Oh, true.
Oh,
true.
yeah. True.
If he
might
gets
just
an
kinda-
Arc of Omen, I'll believe it.
I want
Yeah.
to.
He kind of, sort of, almost does.
Like, he's got a Space Hulk, is what he has.
I think this is what I was talking about though, because we have Solomon Akura. He's like trying to assemble the Legion. We have
The sexiest man there is.
we have the Night Lords who are being led by what's his face, who are trying to
Don't say his
assemble.
name. Even saying his name spoils the series a little bit.
It's trying to assemble
Which
the
series?
the Legion. We got we got all these players moving about, trying to
Oh,
essentially
we're gonna
like
do Iron Warriors character. who's
yes,
come out.
exactly.
Yeah, guys,
yeah.
we're totally gonna get Pertuabo.
Yeah, Peter Turbo is coming.
I can't say his name without
in
immediately
1
going
week.
into the
I
fucking
can't
voice.
believe this, guys.
Oh my god, Pertuabo.
Peter Turbo.
Potawabo.
Pertuabo.
God damn it. But like, what I mean is, and we have Huron Blackheart, and then we have all these other hero characters. It feels like we're getting a lot of larger, sort of important characters coming along to sort of move stuff along, and that's cool. So that's where I see that the story is going in about 10 years.
Yeah, I think we're going to get a big bit of chaos infighting, and if GW continues performing with the swag they've been pumping out, we're going to forget about everything and just open our wallets.
Indeed.
Your
Right.
crimes are forgiven. Bring me Custodies models ASAP.
Bring me Mark 7. I'll give you money. Honestly, please.
So, moving on to the second question by Pierrot38. Pierrot, who asks, who would be your ideal love partner in the setting? Your own race is irrelevant. So no humans. Does that also include Space Marines and Primarchs? Are they considered humans?
The question is just love partner. They've specifically removed a limiting factor here.
Okay. Which is?
You are not considered human in this.
They have removed you from the equation.
You do not have. Y/N, your name does not have to be human.
No, I keep getting the fucking YN animations, man. Stop. Please.
Anyway, so for me the answer is just some Necron. No comment.
Come on,
All
Sarek.
right.
Of all the fucking you gonna pussy out like that? Just some Necron. Pick one.
Some Necron.
Pick one.
Fine,
Yeah,
fucking
to call yourself a
Anastrosis. I don't
robo-fucker?
trust her as far as I can throw her, but I have to pick someone. Anastrosis.
There we go. Fucking hell.
Excellent. Good job. It's important to talk about what you're feeling, what's on your mind. Otherwise, you're repressing your feelings. It won't do you any good.
It's called being a fencer. If you're gonna be a robo-fucker, be a robo-fucker.
Yeah.
Don't sit
okay,
behind my
cool.
house. Play Warframe. Play
They
Warframe.
already know. They've seen the episodes. Probably.
We're
If they want to hear me fucking barking up a tree for a Necron, they can go and they can watch one of the other episodes about that.
We have plenty of those episodes, it's true.
We have a load of those episodes. Go check them out.
How about you, Croc? Who's your ideal love partner?
I'm going to let you answer first. I'm racking my brain at the moment. There's a lot of options here.
Okay, I was hoping. So I could rack my brain, but okay. I had one in mind. You know, give me a brain. Bring me. Hell yeah, why not? Any Eldar, really, actually.
I do have to warn you. If you're with your brain, she is psychically linked to her cat.
We have already had this discussion, Eric.
we have.
You think I'm not gonna cuck the cat? Is that what you're saying? Cat's getting cucked, simple as.
Fucking cat cuck.
Yeah.
Is curling up in the cuck chair. Loafing in the cuck chair.
Who's the what's his name otherwise? The pirate prince.
Uriel?
Uriel. Yeah,
Prince
yeah.
Uriel.
Mm-hmm. Prince Uriel.
It's time to do the duel.
You know.
Croc, did you say yours?
No, he hasn't. He hasn't responded yet.
Why are you
Share
talking?
your
Look,
secrets.
I've been racking my brain.
Yeah.
And I
Nay
feel
for me, boy.
there's the options. There's the options that I'd pick personally, and there's the option you should pick. God,
Okay.
Emperor Mankind, no questions asked.
Ooh. God,
Look,
Emperor Mankind.
It's
Alright.
a pretty vast setting, but as far as things are concerned, if there's anyone you want to be with, it's the anyone that can be anyone and can do anything. You know what I'm saying?
But why would he?
Because in this scenario, we're partners. Ergo, I'm on an equal level. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
You got to be in a position where you could be like their romantic partner, and that puts me pretty fucking on the up and up.
So where does this position, like, you and Malkador in this scenario?
Malkador's in the
Homies,
cuck
of
chair,
course.
of course.
Is he being cucked, or is this like a
Malcolm's in the
polycule?
co-pilot seat, I think you'll find.
I see. Yeah, this is the unlicensed take, I think.
The enlightened thing. It's a co-pilot, Malcolm. So what? You're
such a bro.
You're
I'm telling you.
Eiffel towering the Emperor with Malkador. Is that what you're saying?
Look,
Crazy.
I'm gonna find out what that true form looks like one way or another. You know what I'm saying? And who's to say? The Emperor might be an Empress. We don't know.
Dude,
But
you're
I'll
gonna give
find out.
Malkador heart palpitations is what you're gonna do.
He can handle it. Yeah, you can. That
Yeah, he
man,
probably
that man,
can.
that man looks old for the fit. Okay.
No, you're right. He got
Yeah,
fucking
he's-
bitch slapped by Lorgar across a courtyard and was just fine.
Like that
He
man, he
got
takes
better.
off the robes, and you just see like he's got like the fucking Master Roshi build.
Yeah.
Glistening with butter.
Terribly accurate.
Look, when it comes to what would you rather X thing in 40k? You always go big or you go home.
Uh-huh.
So if you're gonna be in this shithole of a setting, I'm gonna be at the fucking tippy top. Alternate choices. Maybe the fucking Silent King. Okay, I don't fuck with
Ooh.
chaos. So Abaddon's off the table, and Abaddon is also a dude. The Emperor is like whatever it's whatever you want to see it as.
Mhm.
So you get a bit of leeway. The Silent King, kinda all-powerful demigod guy. So
Very
That goes for me.
flexible as well, you know.
I love
He
how you
knows
were
his system.
like, not Abaddon, he's a dude. Silent King, however.
Hey, whoa. Necrons have canonically transitioned in lore. And
Yeah.
robot bodies. You should know this, Zarek.
Yeah, but it's the Silent King.
What if it was the Silent Queen? Consider that? No.
I mean,
Your horizons?
you're
dimmed.
right.
My horizons broadened.
History,
So far.
herstory. It's about her
Call
story
yourself a
now.
robo fucker. This is amateur shit, Zarek. Come on
You're
now.
so right. You're so right.
Okay.
You know what, Chestnut, when you're watching this episode, put like a fucking scoreboard up. Zarek 0, me 1.
You're still a coward anyway.
I may be a coward, but I'm right.
Croc
I
number
got
1
courage where it
robot
counts.
fucker. Okay, and with that, I think we're gonna end the episode.
Wait, is the implication you're gonna force fed the Silent King?
Oh, no.
Cut there.
Not force. No. But you know, the guy's been around. He knows a thing or two. And maybe the thing or two he knows is how to be woman.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm sure that's what you find. Actually, yeah, that is what you find in Between the Stars.
I can't think of a way to make a joke about being in between the legs, but you know. Use your imagination.
Excellent.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Thanks for watching. Please tell us who's your ideal lover in 40k, and
Would you nay for the Silent Queen?
would you nay?
Would you nay?
Nays are like neigh like a horse, or no in Swedish.
I would never say nay to the Silent Queen or
Oh
King.
nay, mein Kuk takes on a real different meaning at this point in time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Wake up!